What is up, everybody? This is Lyle with No Hippie Trucking and Transportation. And I know this hoodie's putting a hurting on your vision, but listen, I got this one and a fluorescent green one at Walmart over the summer for like $4.95. So I figured, you know what? It'd be a great investment for those places that require safety vests. But, I learned two things. Either one, they don't care if you got it on or not. And then number two, the places that care about it really care about it. Like, they want the whole reflective thing and everything on it. Like, that's supposed to protect you from the yard jockey driving 50 miles an hour through the place. But anyway, just wanted to touch on a topic real quick. And somebody had asked me, it's always, what is the number one thing that reason why, I forgot how it was worded, the number one reason or the number one advice that you would have going into a prime lease. And, let's get into that. The number one thing I think you should have going into a lease with prime, and this could be actually just about anything, is long-term vision. Okay? What do you mean by long-term vision? We'll get into that, but long-term vision. Okay, so let's say that you take a homeless guy on the street. He's looking at things from meal to meal, right? And then let's say that you take somebody that's, the average American possibly, might be looking at things from month to month, gotta make that, gotta make sure I have money for the mortgage payment. Then you might have people that are a little more set where they're looking at things, year to year. And then you have the really wealthy people that look at things generations in advance. You know what I'm saying? So the more well off you are, the further into the future you tend to look. And how that applies to trucking is this. And it's one of the things that I suggest anybody have when they get into a lease, is having a little bit of money behind you and low debt if you can. I just watched the video again for like the third time, Robert Lowe talking about his beginnings at Prime. And one of the reasons Prime almost didn't exist to this day is when they first started, they had low funds and high debt. And because of that, Prime almost wouldn't have existed to this day. But they got past that. But it wasn't without struggle. Having money behind you allows you to look at things instead of the average truck driver looking week to week. It allows you to look month to month or quarter to quarter. One of the worst things about the trucking industry is that they pay week to week, and what that does is shortens up people's sights. Even people that have aren't really struggling or anything like that. It's like, it's such a short-term thing. I came out of a business where I had to, first of all, you got paid every 2 weeks, but you only ate what you killed, and you might not kill anything for, I've gone, 3 months without, or not, maybe not 3 months. I've gone a good 2.5 months without getting paid. So I came into this business even when I got paid a lot of money. So a lot of times you make a lot of money, but you don't ever, I'm always thinking so much further out that it's just never about this paycheck. So what I found in trucking is this, and I've talked to people, or let's talk about a specific conversation. I spoke with a guy that got a load. It was a great load, paid great, however you want to break it down, dollars per day, cents per mile. I don't remember the weight, but let's say it was a great load. This load was going to pay or deliver on a Thursday. He turned down that load and took a load that wasn't as good because it was going to deliver on Wednesday, which is payday cutoff. If you have a longer view, a longer, you're looking at things a quarter in advance, 2 weeks in advance or whatever, you're not going to be in those situations where you're taking a shittier load because it pays on a certain pay period. So having that money behind you is going to allow you to make better decisions on the loads that you take. Having money behind you allows you to do things that you want and don't want. I don't personally care if a load is paying $6,000. If that shit's going into Brooklyn, I'm not taking it. And I can do that because I'm not sitting there worried about, I don't need to, financially, I really don't care to put myself in stressful situations that are unnecessary. Why? To make another, I don't know. To me, having a little bit of money behind me allows me to do things a little bit more on my terms. You know what I'm saying? I don't feel like I need to take less desirable loads, and I'm saying desirable in places I don't want to go, because I feel like I'm forced to do it financially. So that is, to answer the question, what is the number one thing I would say you should have going into leasing is going to be a long-term view. And a lot of that comes from having financial stamina. A lot of that's going to come from having limited debt. One thing I've noticed is that people with the longer term view don't make the same, I'm going to call them stupid decisions, that other people make. They're not buying things on a whim because they think things out a little bit further. They're not, buying things just because they want them. Oh, I gotta have it, things like that. So anyway, let's wrap this up. I know this video is lingering like a stale fart, but that's it. Long-term vision. Long-term vision allows you to be more disciplined, allows you to do things a little bit more on your term, allows you to absorb the things that could go wrong while you're leasing. So a long-term view also allows you, let's go back a little bit further. The long-term view is what made me stay in training for way longer than I needed to. I stayed in training for 140,000 miles. I keep telling the story over and over again. Stayed in training 140,000 miles, didn't have one critical event, didn't have any of that stuff, and I stayed longer than I should have because my long-term vision wasn't to get my own truck as soon as possible. My long-term view was to learn the most I could in training before I got off of training, or before I got out of training. So anyway, I hope that answers the question. I know I rambled on a little bit in this, but all I got is time on my hands. Listen, got a great load, had a little bit of time on it, so it allowed me to post up out here about 200 miles away from my delivery tomorrow at 11 a.m. and get a 34 out of it. So this worked out well. Anyway, I appreciate you guys stopping by No Hippie Trucking and Transportation. I'm not like some lease guru or anything like that. I'm just trying to tell you in this video what I think the number one thing is that's going to make you successful in a prime lease, or maybe just trucking, or maybe even life in general. Comment, subscribe, and I'm out.